Okay, I think we are live. Can y'all hear me? Let's get ready to go. Hello. What is happening with my camera? Oh my Jesus. Oh boy, I did not. Oh no. Hold on. Hold please. Gotta do some surgery. That was not my intent. Of course, it's on a day when I don't have my keyboard and mouse to use because we're using it for the other computer that we're going to be streaming content from. Hold, please. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Gives me a chance to show off my James Sunderland shirt. Which you can get at thepire.shop /collection/Silent Hill. There's also a Pyramid Head shirt there. Hey Spectre. Yeah. Just one way. Alright, phone's hooked up so I can see you. Oh, that's too high. I don't want the aim camera. I just want it to be able to see and also look at the cam when I'm talking to y'all. Let me just lower that a little bit. Why, thank you, Spectre. You're so kind. Let me just make sure this thing doesn't tip over. Okay, cool. Well, since we're here, let me move over. Nope. Yep. Thank you for the redeem. Thank you for the flex. Spectre, I hope you enjoyed while you're out with your parents. I'll try not to embarrass you too much. Oops, I just spilled all your tea. Didn't mean to do that. Or did I? Okay. Y'all, we've got we've got a night in store. Um, for those of you who don't know, I am Silent Hill is probably my biggest fandom of all the fandoms of all of the things that I care about. Silent Hill is the biggest one. Be careful what you wish for, Spectre. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, Silent Hill is probably my biggest. That's my biggest fandom. In college, I was the Silent Hill guy, and so tonight, to this week, we got a big transmission. I wish I could have streamed it live, but I was busy. I have seen everything, so there's no blind reacting tonight. However, there is a lot of like discussion and dissection to do. Not a lot. It doesn't fill the whole time, but it might fill the first hour or so as we explore some things. That being said, let's. But so yeah, when this came out, I got I got several messages from people in my SFW life message asking me if I'd seen primarily the remake trailer for Silent Hill 2. Which we'll get into it in the preview. I talked about this on TikTok a little bit. I'm not too worried about this remake. I mean, here's the thing. I have a baseline worry because it's Konami. And we all know what happened with Silent Hills. If you don't know what happened with Silent Hills, what rock have you been living under for the past 10 years? It was not 10 years. 10 years is when Downpour came out, and then Silent Hills was canceled in 15. So 7-8 years. Oh, I forgot that I have Discord on this computer. Oh, we got clip. Oh. All right, I'm just gonna flip over to. Oh, you're on Facecam. Y'all can't see my screen just yet, so we're gonna be good. I'm just gonna go ahead and make myself as Do Not Disturb on Discord. Y'all hop in the Discord. Oh, someone. Welcome, Mikey. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, luckily it was just someone else going live. No big deal. My Discord consists entirely of NSFW stuff and then a few streamer Discords. And I used to try and split the line, but you can't log into multiple accounts on Discord, and switching between the two is such a pain in the ass that I've just given up on trying to have a separate account for SFW. So I just made my NSFW one just like I didn't look. I'm upfront with like, hey, this is my. For anybody who asks, like I'm like, this is my NSFW. Don't look too deep into my stuff or two. But viewer discretion is advised. Here we are. It's the same. Mine is 70% NS fetishy stuff, and then a Final Fantasy server, a server for a streamer who did Kingdom Hearts, like a couple streamer servers. Just because I'm trying to be more in that world. Okay, Streamlabs, you're a little bit hyperactive. Anyways, but yeah, I had 10 people message me, did you see the remake trailer? Did you see the remake trailer? We're like, for one thing, this thing has been leaked for years. This rumor has been going around for years. First it was Kojima was doing it. First it was that Silent Hills was coming back. Then they're remaking 2. And then the knowledge about Bloober has been around. Follow everything hardcore. Bloober team, the knowledge has been out for at least 3 or 4 months because Jim Sterling did a whole video about which we might watch tonight to talk about like what's going on with Silent Hill 2 and why this remake could be worrisome. The main worry to be had about in all of this, I'm going to try and center myself on cam. Yeah, there we go. Lights. The main worry in all of this to be had is that Konami doesn't give a fuck about Silent Hill. Silent Hill is literally just like imagine that Konami is a negligent landlord holding company, and Silent Hill is our very rundown apartment that does not be upkept. They think of it as a cash cow, and that is it. They do not care about the product. They do not care about the IP. They are a gambling company and a medical device company in Japan. That is their they don't care about games no more, unless they're live service games, which they haven't really had anything. And they did this thing. They have done this before, where I should bring up chat. Fuck. Oh, I can do that on here. Hold on. Chat box. There we go. No, go back. Bring back my chat. They have done this thing before where they put out a bunch of Silent Hill things. In fact, it was called the Spring of Silent Hill. And then they had to push one of the games back. And it was new film, it was new mainline game, and new spin-off game, and a remaster. That was we've done this before. We've done this before. We have done the Silent Hill thing before. We have done a year of content where they just threw everything at the wall. This is not new. Then we got a really strong concept of a game. A really strong concept of a game, but poor execution in Downpour. Like, Downpour had a lot of good ideas, but it was marred by the fact that A, it was trying to be Silent Hill 2 again, which we've seen multiple times, and it just was a buggy mess. It was a buggy, broken, the combat sucked, and the creature designs, which is like the piece de resistance of Silent Hill, the most of all the things that the other Silent Hills that aren't by Team Silent have not fucked up, which is the creature designs. The creature designs, even when it's not by Team Silent, have always been top notch. Homecoming, as terrible as it was, had a lot of really interesting, fascinating character designs. And so that wasn't a big issue before. I mean, that wasn't a big plus in Silent Hill Downpour. Silent Hill Downpour had one big burly man, they were all very humanoid, which, like, the whole point of Silent Hill is, like, humanoid adjacent, but, like, not humanoid enough to be normal. It's supposed to be Uncanny Valley out the wahoo. But literally it was a big burly dude with, if you've seen the Doctor in Silent Hill in Dead by Daylight, the Doctor's face, they've got their eyes and their mouth. I liked it. I will say I liked the story. I was very disappointed in the creature designs, which is, to me, is like what drew me into Silent Hill in the first place, because the creature designs are the visual language with which they display the characters' psyches, which they analyze the characters' internal world. It's the characters' internal demons made manifest, which is why. And Downpour just only had a big burly dude with like their eyes held open, a vaguely scary screaming lady with like long sleeves and long hair, which is just the Grudge and or the Ring, Sadako. They had, well, it's just that the developers weren't creative in their designs. There was one that was a pain in the ass to fight. That was like a long, like Slender Man almost thing, but it was just like a giant bat. That was okay. And they did have one creative design with the dolls. The dolls, they had these dolls that you were actually fighting their shadows, and the actual doll, and you could only see them with a blue light. That was like the most creative design, but everything else in that game, the designs were just disappointing. Story was all right, but story again. After Team Silent, they had this bad habit of just trying to recreate Silent Hill 2. And it's not, Silent Hill 2 is not good. Or Silent Hill 2 is great. You can't just copy Silent Hill 2 again and again and again. The first time was lightning in a bottle. And that's why Silent Hill 3 is great, because it takes a different direction. That's why Silent Hill 4 I don't love, but is well liked because it takes the series in a new direction. And I think I'm looking forward to that with F. That we're going to watch the trailer today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the connections to Higurashi. But yeah, they had Downpour, which was fine. It was a fine game. It wasn't great. They had the remaster of 2 and 3. So literally a remaster. Oh, it's infamously bad, infamously broken. You can't, like, missing textures. They used an unfinished build of the game because they lost the original source code. They lost the voice acting from 3. They managed to negotiate a return of the voice acting in 2, so you could pick between the 2 tasks. And wait, Spectre, I thought you didn't play Silent Hill. I thought this was going to be new to you. I don't know why I went up it with the microphone, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the remaster, horrendous. We had Silent Hill Revelation, which was the sequel to the original film. As we will talk about, I loved. Oh, you never beat any of them. Got it. Do you know the twist on 2? Do you know? Are you aware? Silent Hill Revelation was a joke of a film. The best part about Silent Hill Revelation was the fact that the actress playing Heather looked just like Heather from the game, and that's about it. So there's going to be some surprises for you when we play it. Which I ever said we're going to play. We're going to play it tonight. That's surprise tonight. I went ahead and downloaded the enhanced edition for PC. I sailed the seas, but I have the game. I own the game, so it's not super illegal for me to do that. Oh, darn it! Still. But yeah, Revelations, the only good thing about Revelations was the fact that Heather, the actress playing Heather, looked just like Heather. Adelaide Clemens, I think her name was. They had Jon Snow playing Vincent, and suddenly Vincent was the love interest, which is weird because he's supposed to be a creepy priest in the game, which I'm not sold to. I'm not necessarily, like, bound to, like, you have to stick to the game exactly. I understand an adaptation. And that's what I love about the first movie, is that they took liberties, but the liberties still made sense in its own context. Revelation was just poorly done fan service. And then they did Silent Hill Book of Memories, which had a great soundtrack, and that's all I know about it because it was on the PSP Vita or PSP or PS Vita, and that's all I knew about it. But it was a Diablo clone with Silent Hill models, and was not well received. So there is reason to be skeptical about this thing, right? There is reason to be like, I don't trust this. I don't know if this is going to be good or not. I'm not going to get hype. The reason why people aren't getting hyped about this. I see what you mean, Spectre. The reason why people aren't getting hyped about this is because Bloober Team is attached to the the second Silent Hill 2 remake, and from what I hear, I have not played their games. I've never played Layers of Fear. I've never played The Medium. I've never played Blair Witch. From what I hear, they're not good at mental health, and we'll look at Jim Sterling's video, talking about that. But what I will say is this: let's watch the trailer. Let's switch to the trailer real quick. And I'll give my reasons why I'm not worried about Bloober yet. All right, here we go. I love the detail in this bathroom. I recognized the bathroom like almost immediately. This is the bathroom where we start off in Silent Hill 2. We have James. Okay, so one thing that I keep hearing people talk about is the change in face, which they basically just did a copy of the original characters. They basically just like made the characters look like the voice actors. So Guy Seehee, who voiced the James in the original game, that was him. I presume that's what they're doing here because James looks radically different. He's got that like I don't know, the cheek, the puffy cheeks around his mouth. He looks like old young. And another thing here is that he looks visibly disturbed, whereas in the original game he's just dissociating. Which, if you don't know, this is actually like, I don't know if this is canon or not, but I'm pretty sure this is like either close to canon or like a well prevailing theory is that there was no 3-year break between when Mary died and when James got the letter. The theory is, I don't know how canon this is, but I'm pretty sure the theory is that there was no time between Mary dying and James getting the letter. That actually, that whole backstory that you see in the opening of he was fine. I don't dislike this. I like that it's new, and I like that they're taking liberties, but in a respectful way. Like, it's clear to me that they are paying attention to the details of what makes James look like James, but then also exploring other options and kind of like the way in Spyro Remastered, which is going to be the remake that I keep going back to because that's another that was my first video game, and that's the best game remake I've played. They were so faithful with the script. They didn't change anything gameplay wise, but they allowed themselves to explore the visuals, and that created basically just a bunch of Bara scaly bait. Scaly as opposed to furry. Just a lot of hot dragons. Just a lot of sexy hot dragons. Which were not in the original game. The original games, all the dragons kind of looked like big old puppets. But so it's kind of like that. They're experimenting with the visuals, and the reason why I'm okay with them experimenting with the visuals is because we have Masahiro Ito on board. If we didn't have him on board, I'd be like, nope, don't change a thing. But because Ito-san is on board, I'm okay with them experimenting with the visuals, like James's face. But the thing about this scene is, going back to the theory is that there was no time. Oh, I loved the Daddy Dragons. The barista? Jesus Christ. Like, that awoke something in me, and I've already had my sexual awakening by the time I saw that. But yeah, so when the theory is that there was no time between between James killing Mary and him traveling to Silent Hill. In fact, there is a theory that she is in the trunk. Her body is in the trunk. What we do know is that there is an option for in the ending where James came here to kill himself. That is canon because that is the in-water ending. Um, uh, and I think that's where the idea that Mary possibly is in the... I gotta set myself to do not disturb. Hold on. Because I keep getting notifications. Thanks for liking my Tumblr stuff, people. So the theory is that and in water is considered the most canon. Like, he came here to die. Like, he does not escape this town canonically, according to Silent Hill 4. Because Silent Hill 4, you meet James's father actually. But yeah, the theory is that Mary's in the truck and Mary just killed James. Watching this opening, the way he rushes in, the way he's panicked, the way he's like more emotional versus the sort of disassociation that's going on in Silent Hill 1, where the delusion sort of forms, theoretically. That's the big difference for me here, is that he's like this. The way he's so panicked in this opening reminds me of that theory that he just killed Mary, that Mary's in the trunk. And he's looking for some way to... He's deluding himself, which is the whole... He's deluding himself anyways. That's canon. How much so, that's what there is to argue. This shot is gorgeous. I just want to show... I made that shot my computer background. When he stepped out is when I started tearing up because... Also, I just realized TV's not muted, so you're probably going to hear an echo. Let me mute that.
I see that Silent Hill.
I love this delivery by Mary. That's exactly what I need. It's not Mary. It's not. I forget what her name was. It's different. I don't hate the line delivery. So this is the infamous grape R word scene, in which James walks in on Pyramid Head, having fun with a couple of mannequin monsters. Right? Like I gasped and I teared up. And Mikey, if you're still here, he asked a couple weeks ago, last time a game made me cry. Like before Final Fantasy XIV, which was my answer, this is the game that made me cry. This is the only game that makes me cry. And it's when you read the full Mary's letter at the end of the game. He still can't park for shit, no. But you want to talk about a game that makes you cry. This game fucking... And so watching this trailer, we love tears. Tears are the manliest substance, not the other one. Although that substance is pretty manly. But yeah, so one thing I will note that's different in this scene is in the game, which we might even get to tonight, who knows. We walk in and it's just right there. It's happening. Here it appears that James has stepped into the room unaware of what's going on, unaware that something is happening. Exactly. Weeping is so masked, whether it's your eyes or you're down below. Yes. You understand me. This looks to me to be the Steiner from 1, for 1, which is cool. That's a cool inclusion. It also reminds me of... I hope they bring back... There's a hole here, it's gone now. It's my favorite Silent Hill meme besides the pizza meme. Por qué no los dos, Spectre? That's the thing. Por qué no los dos? Why not both? We are doing both constantly. I'm constantly crying and coming all at the same time. That's a clip. But there's a random spot that has no explanation. It is never like where early in the game when you're still exploring the town before you get to the apartments, you can find this random store. Like nothing is open. None of the buildings are open except for this one bar, I think it is. In fact, it is Neely's bar. And It just says on the window, there was a hole here. It is gone now. And that has seared itself into my brain to an extent that I cannot under emphasize. Like, I cannot overemphasize. Like, it is like, it has worked its way into the pattern, the rhythm. There was a hole here. It is gone now. Like, I don't know what it is about that line, but that's what I also thought of with this. Although this looks like to be the coffee shop and Neely's bar is a bar. But yeah, there's the apartment building. Looks fucking real. There's the shadow. Pretty accurate to. Oh, Streamlabs. Thank you. I love the line delivery. So when he steps into that room in the game, he just immediately sees the action and like hides in the closet. But here, what is his napkin? That's new. And him like stepping in and exploring and picking something up, and then being pulled away. But that is all. That's a new take on this scene. So we got Lisa. Not Lisa. What's the little girl's name? Laura. In Brookhaven Hospital. We stand. Laura's a little cunt, but and Brookhaven Hospital is a big cunt. But you know, it's spooky. It's good. Shut up, Streamlabs. We have the scene where, very accurate to the original, the scene where Laura steps on his foot. Now this line of dialogue that he's giving.
3 years ago.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. That's ripped straight. Why I needed you. That's ripped straight from. That's ripped straight from the game. That's from. So you'll actually see it later in the transmission. That's the scene from the end. Yeah, steps on his hand. That line of dialogue. I know what you are. I know why I needed you. That's during the final confrontation with Pyramid when he's fighting two of them, and they stab. You'll see. They stab Maria. They show the clip from the original game later on when they're talking about the movie. But it's all over now. This is stripped straight from the prison. This is a puzzle in which you have to pull down nooses.
I don't need you anymore.
This is new. There's no cutscene where this happens. We do have this scene. This is from the end of Brookhaven Hospital. But that thing where he's jumping on to the nurse, that's not a cutscene that happens. But that here we have. You see this exact that exact like look straight from in later on. Okay, this people. I guess people are attaching themselves to this. What's it called? Gazebo. This was not in the original game. It was just a pier. But that's visual. Like it gives it does give the scene a bit of more framing. So I'm not mad about a gazebo. And nothing about a gazebo implies to me that there is a new dialogue or new writing. And we have Mary's new look. I can't wait to see how they do Maria. So the reason why people don't like Team Bloober being attached to this project is because apparently they have a history of a wet Pyramid Head. Hoo boy, you're going to rust up there, buddy. You're going to become even redder red Pyramid thing. Well, for one, people are getting mad that Pyramid Head gets referred to as the Red Pyramid thing by Konami, trying to imply that they somehow don't like. There's plenty of reasons to assume like that Konami doesn't care about Pyramid Head. Them calling him Red Pyramid thing is not one of them because that is his canonical name in this game. Red Pyramid thing. That is his name in the instructions and whatnot. We're gonna get to this in a little bit. So Jim Sterling, Silent Hill. Team Bloober Team doesn't deserve Silent Hill. I love this bit.
Monster Nurse from Silent Hill now. One of them. Yeah, that would do.
Ooga booga. I need to make a
Coronavirus
video to that song on TikTok.
not well
I'm the boogeyman. Ooga booga.
to smear my mouth all over the microphone. Silent Hill Nurse plays,
Okay.
or more to be specific. We're going to be talking about Silent Hill, and more specifically Silent Hill 2, and even more specifically the rumors that Bloober Team
Now confirmed.
on a Silent Hill remake, or at the very least, some sort of Silent Hill game.
Okay. So at the time of this video, we did not know what they were doing. So I think that I'm really thankful for this video, because I would have been like, oh, Layers of Fear, people like that, great. If they were making a new game, I would be worried, 1,000%. They are not. They are making an existing game. They are remaking an existing game, and it appears that they are not changing the dialogue, because all of that dialogue was stripped from the original game. If that is the case, and with Masahiro Ito and Akira Yamaoka on board, I'm okay. But let's just fast forward and see if we can get to.
Now, as will become quite apparent, I am no fan of Bloober Team's work, and more importantly, before we begin, I should say that because we're talking about Bloober Team's work, we need a content warning for discussions of mental illness, sexual abuse, trauma, and terrible, terrible writing regarding such themes. Of the game Silent Hill 2 and the medium, this will include describing illness. Hill 2 is my favourite video game of all time, perhaps matched only by Bloodborne.
Same.
Relatively bleak exploration of trauma.
Well, no, Dark Souls, Bloodborne tied for first. Silent Hills 2 and 3 tied for second.
Horror in a genre populated primarily by blood, guts, and schlock.
They're calling you out, Spectre.
That Silent Hill 2 is an exemplar of narrative subtlety. Everything involving the character of Eddie, for example, is as in your face as it is absurdly hammy. But in a medium that
Thank you for the clip, Spectre.
literary themes without an iota of complexity, Silent Hill 2 had stood the test of time as one of the few video games that actually has something to say and
They said that they had a picture of Resident Evil and called it schlock.
says it exquisitely. This is to say nothing of the impressive horror it exudes, a game with a truly unsettling atmosphere, marrying visual desolation to an eerily beautiful soundtrack, frequently polluted with malevolent discord and oppressive industrial noise.
I thought you would.
Monsters ooze with an innate fear of femininity that increasingly comes to typify the psyche of protagonists.
Here's the other thing I will say about Bloober Team and mental illness and Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is such... The gender politics of Silent Hill 2 are so fascinating. I'm going to be very interested to see how people who've not played the game react to it. Because we're going to get the 2 renditions of Silent Hill 2. We're going to get the remake. We're going to get Return to Silent Hill, the film. It's not exactly a feminist game. It is a gender affirmative game. Like, it's not regressive in its gender politics by any means. But it is very much an analysis of masculinity, especially cis-het masculinity. And the women are not treated well in this game. And mental illness is not treated well in this game. There is some victim blaming that happens in the original text. It does. In water is the canon ending. So it does give the impression that James's only good option, is to kill himself, which is the main criticism of the medium, is that he said, and also I heard the film Smile has the same issue where like they gave like you should have just did it, which is not a great message to have in a content about mental illness. So like, on the one hand, perfect fit, right? On the other hand, to act like Team Bloober could potentially fuck this up is to also behave like Silent Hill was perfect to begin with, which it is not. It does not have perfect gender politics. It does not have perfect takes on mental illness. I love it anyways, despite its flaws, because of the emotional impact that the story has on me. But it is not like there's a reason why the nurses look like they do, and why they haven't changed from the series. Again, partially because people are trying to be Silent Hill 2. But like it's not a feminist game for sure. Sexy nurses, right?
Steeped in lore that at once fleshes out and obfuscates the town of Silent Hill itself, what I really appreciate is how it almost completely abandons the plot of the original Silent Hill. With Silent Hill 3 continuing...
Like, Silent Hill 3 is feminist as fuck, Silent Hill 2 is not.
that plot, Silent Hill 2...
And not just because there's a female protagonist. Like, there's a lot in the themes of Silent Hill 3. Yeah, like... There's a lot in the plot of Silent Hill 3 that, beyond just Heather being a female protagonist, that really, like, is all about women's autonomy to their own bodies. There's a lot to dive into there. Same thing with the first one. Silent Hill 2, however, is not...
its own unique story, a bubble episode, if you will.
It treats its women characters pretty violently for the sake of building up male characters, which, like, I'm not going to, like, make a more call on whether that's bad or good morally. It's just how the game treats women. Because maybe it's for the sake of addressing toxic masculinity. Who knows? We'll get into that when we play the game.
Well, a way of showing that the town of...
All right, I'm going to skip to the medium stuff because
more as the manifestation of the protagonist...
Here we go.
Much with abusers and dismiss far horror is mechanically fine. A fairly dangerous. Take, for example, The Medium. Much has been written on what is perhaps Bloober's best and most troubling game. The third-person survival horror is mechanically fine. A fairly straightforward horror game with environmental puzzles and basic stealth that utilizes a dual-screen format to pretend it's more complex than it actually is. Narratively, however, The Medium is fucking dreadful. Its entire premise is that traumatized people inevitably traumatize others in turn, and in doing so manages to both sympathize far too much with abusers and dismiss far too much their victims. As described in this
Which is entirely what Silent Hill 2 does. Again, not making a moral judgment call, but that is... I'm not saying that I leave Silent Hill 2, empathizing, like thinking James did nothing wrong. We know that James is the bad guy by then the end of that game. But yeah.
excellent thread by Bob Vids, The Medium portrays a monster named The Maw as the manifestation of the protagonist's sister's trauma. Lily was molested as a child, and the result was the creation of a monster that indiscriminately murders people. In the end, Lily is begging her sister to kill her in order to stop the Maw, with the very clear implication being that she is beyond saving, that her rape has made her irreparably broken, and death is the only way out. This may seem like an uncharitable read, but it's literally the finale of the game. There is no other option explored. The protagonist, Marianne, is faced with killing her sister or killing herself to stop the Maw possessing her. The ending is ambiguous, but the implication is that some people can't be saved. The ending trophy even says as much, and it's fucking disgusting. Many people have torn apart this premise, but for me, the
Okay. I mean, there's different takes to... There is a difference in that James is the perpetrator. James is not a victim by any means in 2. But we empathize with him nonetheless because we played the entire fucking game as him. And we're brought into his delusions. It's kind of like I don't want to make this comparison because I haven't read it, but it's almost like Lolita in the sense we're in his shoes. We're not necessarily sympathizing with him or making it the view that he is correct, but we are experiencing the world through his eyes. And so, like, it's not perfect. And so imperfect studio, imperfect game. As long as they're just recreating what the game already did, we can let the game stand on its own without trying to make. Yeah, exactly. As long as they're just. As long as they let the narrative as it exists in the original material stand on its own, then we don't have to worry about them fucking it up because it's already it's already fucked up on its own. They're just going to be doing, if all goes well, they are just going to be rebuilding the game from the ground up from a mechanical gameplay perspective. The visuals are going to be handled by Masahiro Ito from the original game. The soundtrack is going to be handled by Akira Yamaoka from the original game. I did appreciate that it seems Akira, in my opinion, based on that rendition of Theme of Laura, it feels like he took some nods from Downpour, which incidentally, the other thing to know about Downpour is it was the only Silent Hill game not composed by Akira Yamaoka. All the other games they brought in the guy that did Dexter to do, so you can hear his like signature mandolin all throughout Downpour. But yes, Akira Yamaoka definitely like that. That's his sound, but it doesn't feel like it does sound like he took a few cues from Downpour. Both it also feels like there's some like the raininess of it. Silent Hill 2 is a wet game, but here it just with the modern day graphics, you can definitely feel the like threads that Downpour brought into the visual storytelling that is Silent Hill. Okay, so this is them talking about it. It's Akira Yamaoka. All right, I don't have much to say about Townfall. I don't know the developers. It looks fine.
Why
are you here? No, in this place. Why are you here?
This gives me monsters. They look like monsters. Here to be punished. That's a Silent Hill 2 thing.
You know what? I think you're right. I mean, we've done something so awful. We are stuck here in this place, being judged by these people.
This gives me the ick just a little bit, just because like here to be punished, here to be judged. Those are all Silent Hill 2 things. Those aren't necessarily in the rest of the series. Those are not in the themes of 1 and 3. The visuals are cool.
I think it's more than that.
The red on white and black, the shore, the radio.
And I don't want to be anywhere near you when you figure that out.
Hi, my name is John McKellen. I'm the creative director at No Code, and we are working on Silent Hill Townfall.
I've heard No Code's all right, or their work is out.
PS1 back
All right. Okay, so I just was watching someone else do this. I tried to stay away from like the analysis to keep my my stuff clean. I love the original film. The original film is what brought me into Silent Hill altogether. Like I had heard about it. This was middle school, because it came out my freshman year of high school. I was sitting next to this girl, whom I believe still identifies as a girl. I don't want to misgender them. No, I think they go by they them. But this is middle school. This is before we had. We were awakening to our pronouns, but she was all she talked about was how much she loved Silent Hill, and I'd never played a horror game before, and I had PlayStation 1. I remember she was like, she hated Resident Evil and loved Silent Hill so much, and then she told me about Pyramid Head and how you couldn't kill him and how he stalked you through the entire game, and I was just like, the concept drove me nuts. I was like, I was like, ooh, I want to give this a try. And so I think at that point, I started looking up like guides online. I think that was around the time that 4 was getting released, if I'm not mistaken. And so I remember like looking at the website for 4. And then finally, like in 8th grade, when I was in 8th grade, the trailer for the first film came out. That was my first actual experience with Silent Hill proper. Then that summer, I got Silent Hill 0, which is a way better game than people give it credit for. Silent Hill Origins, also known as, which was the prequel, and it was the first one not made by the Team Silent. And so yeah, Silent Hill the movie just changes just enough. I love that they make it a female protagonist. I love the original narrative they built. I'm not bothered. I also I hadn't played 2 when I watched the film, so I'm not bothered by Pyramid Head's inclusion in the film. I understand why it bothers fans. But you have to understand that he has, in a metatextual context, he's so much larger than James Sunderland, and his design is too visually interesting to waste on just leaving him in Silent Hill 2. I think he, as a concept, is better than Silent Hill 2. And they've used him in such interesting ways in the film. As like Alessa's sort of protector. So yeah, I love the film. This is what I've wanted for years, ever since. I've wanted them to adapt Silent Hill 2. You gotta love the thing about Gons is a real gamer, but like Gons does shot-by-shot recreations of things from the original game in the first film. And the stuff, and he brings in artistry. He brought in dancers to do the creatures. Instead of, like, he cares about the visual. Like, he did all practical effects. He brought in people he brought in unique people. Rip Roger Avery, too bad he went to prison for manslaughter. I'd love to have him back for the script. I have no idea who's going to be doing the story, not the storyboard, but the screenplay. I saw someone reacting to this, like, look at this shot. If that ain't I can't wait to see this fully fleshed out. That's all I will say. Pyramid Head from this angle with that sword pointing down, like, you cannot tell me that there is not psychosexual imagery in this picture.
They want that collective experience. They want to be with their friends.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for this film. It'll be interesting to see how people react to it, especially folks who haven't played 2 and don't know. All right, skipping through this here, we're gonna just go to the thing I'm most excited for. Okay, so Ascension. People are so confused about Ascension, and it's so blatantly obvious to me what it is. It's an ARG, people. Silent Hill Ascension is a Silent Hill ARG. Have y'all never played? Do y'all not know about Cloverfield? Were y'all not around for Cloverfield? Were y'all not around for, like, do y'all not know that Behavior Interactive, which is the creators of Dead by Daylight, they're working on this thing called Silent Hill Ascension. They're primarily known for doing mobile game ports. So you've got a mobile developer, you've got an ARG developer. Silent Hill Ascension is an ARG, and it's going to have a mobile app to help you vote for everything. It's like, I don't know why they don't just spell it out, because they spend so much time talking around what Ascension is. But all it is an ARG, folks. It's not a new concept by any means. It's not difficult to understand. I do wish they were a little bit more like upfront about what it is, but like it's a story that's playing out in which the viewers can participate and help to solve the mystery and have an effect on the narrative. Marble Hornets, anyone? I have a whole unfilmed script for a Marble Hornets analysis that I think I'm going to do now that I'm starting back horror content again. But it's an ARG. Bad Robot, ARG. Bad Robot did Cloverfield. And all the other Cloverfields. And Cloverfield, the original, that whole marketing game was an ARG before the actual film came out. Like, people had no idea what Cloverfield was for a bit until finally there was a game. I remember that. I distinctly remember all the hype about Cloverfield. That was around the same time I remember first getting into Silent Hill as a concept. And Behavior is a mobile developer. Besides Dead by Daylight, that's what they've done is mobile adaptations of various IPs. So that's simple. All right. No need to spend so much time on that. J.J. Abrams. I think we've done a good job so far. I love you, Matthew Cote. That was the director of Dead by Daylight, in case you don't know. All right, here we go. This remake aside, there's a lot of emotions around the remake, but this is what I'm most hyped for.
Thank you very much. Finally, we will leave you with that completely new video. Thank you for watching Silent Hill Transmission.
We got a rice patty. We're in Japan. Okay. This looks just like the small town of Hinamizawa, which is the town in which Higurashi takes place. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Silent Hill F. It's being written by the creator of Higurashi, which is my favorite horror anime. So this is the real town that the village is and the anime is based off of. Oh, they have little sprinklers. I wonder, there's a scene where anyways, like once they Ryukishi 7, I was like, oh yeah, this looks like a path to and from the school. I'm not saying it's going to be based, like it's going to be connected to Higurashi at all. I'm just saying that the visuals are there. And that Ryukishi 7 is a fucking troll. That's another thing to know about Higurashi, the writer of this game, going into this, is he will fucking troll you on a metatextual level. He will take... he takes characters from one thing and makes you think that they've shown up in another and then will fuck with you. He takes the assumption that you've watched something before and then you go to watch it again theoretically and he says, no, that's not what you were watching this entire time. The reboot of Higurashi was the biggest troll, and that's why the first season of the reboot was so great, was the biggest troll because he knew that fans were going to be coming in watching it and assuming everything, assuming they know everything that happens. They know everything about the world of Higurashi because they've watched the original so many times, or they loved the original so much. And he said, everything you think you know about this world, fuck you, no you don't. And so there is... This shot perfectly combines both Higurashi and Silent Hill because it's the pipe, which there's a lot of characters fighting with pipes, carrying pipes in Silent Hill. That's one of the weapons you get for James. There's nurses that swing pipes at you in Silent Hill 3. And it also looks like a clip of... It reminds me of Rena Ryugu Cleaver. This is the protagonist, Ori. No, not Ori. I forget. One thing I will say is that all three of my favorite animes have the same generic brown-haired protagonist, and I never can get any of their names right. Keiichi. This is what that shot reminds me of. And that's when she's the villain. She's the supposed villain of the first arc. Thanks, Spectre. Thanks for coming around. I love the scene. But yeah, so that her walking with that hatchet kind of reminds me of. And this music. And we've got this like fungus thing surrounding everyone. And then this is just straight out of a Higurashi opening. The flowers, the dark blue tones of night. Ugh. And then people are comparing this to Midsummer. I kind of see it. But like the May Queen, Midsummer didn't invent the May Queen idea. But it definitely reminds me more of the opening to Higurashi, which we'll watch in just a second. So Silent Hill F. Ryukishi 7. This... People are saying this doesn't connect to Silent Hill at all. That's the fucking opening done with Japanese flutes. Like, this is taking the Silent Hill, what makes Silent Hill already, which is this otherworldly alternate reality in which you are made to face your internal demons in whatever ways they manifest. And here we're seeing it manifest in this like spider lily fungal adaptation, which is thank God for something that's not Rust. And like Rust is great. It was worked in the first game. In 2, it's sort of waterlogged aesthetics, which they repeat in Downpour, which is why Downpour is not my favorite. Except in bringing that aesthetic to a new generation. But this floor theme is new, but it also feels very true to both Silent Hill and it also feels very true to Ryukishi 7. When it clicked in my head what the song was, which is the original Silent Hill theme. Alright. So keep that trailer in mind and then let's watch. They really see Ryukishi 7 is like look at these flowers. Look at the I just want to be like hold on. Let's go back to the transmission. We got flowers sprouting. And in Higurashi, they're very much metaphorical, but they're there in the visuals. Very Ryukishi 7. And also looking at the color tone. Also a banger of a song. Such a good song. I love this song so much. It's Rika Furude. Look at this color scheme. Look at this color scheme. I saw, as soon as I saw Rikishi's name on it, I was like, oh, that explains everything. Again, water and girl. He loves this dark blue. I'm not saying he's in charge, but he hand drew the original visuals of the... This one especially. This one especially is what reminded me of the F trailer. There's also that bit in the original, in the F trailer where she's running to escape the flowers, which is a very common thing in her running to escape. Higurashi opening 2. Let's look at the second season. The end of the second season. Another banger. But little Japanese girls running away for something or running towards something. The lyrics that are playing right now translate to, "You are not a flower in hell, so don't blossom there." This opening is so good. And then they would bring it back in the reboot. The reboot that was actually a sequel the entire time. Here we go. Once again, we got Rika running away or towards something. Up a hill. The running just got me. And it could be nothing, but that's just... Those are the things that I thought of, and we got that splash of red. And Ryukishi 7, like I said, he's a metatextual troll. He will make you think about the work outside of the work. Because, you know, first of all, the whole premise is the same story playing out over and over and over again. This being a murder mystery, a bunch of kids trying to solve a murder mystery, and something goes horribly wrong, and one of them loses their mind, gets super paranoid, and goes on a murdering spree. Then the next episode starts, and it's completely the new thing. The same story, everyone's alive again, except it plays out differently. So by its very structure, has you thinking on a metatextual level of what's the same this time, what's different, who is the focus. Arcs themselves are considered questions and answers to each other. Like, they'll have an arc that's from one character's perspective, but it's one scenario, and then you see that same scenario, but from a different character's perspective. He's very metatextual, and there's no way that he's not going to look at the expectations of people going into Silent Hill they're going to have going to Silent Hill, or even his own work, and not fuck around with those expectations, and not completely, like, make you think it's going make you think you know what's going to happen and then completely pull the rug out beneath you. That's one thing Go did very well, and it's why Sotsu was so disappointing, because Sotsu did not live up to the expectations that were set by Go. But yeah, I'm doing my best not to let my hype for not to let Konami not to let myself get my hopes up. I'm doing myself not to get my hopes up about this game, but because all we have is that trailer. But I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited for Higurashi, Ryukishi 7 taking on Silent Hill, because those are my two favorite horror properties that have had such an influence on my own writing. And actually, on Monday, I'm going to be uploading a scene that's like whipped straight from Silent Hill 2 in Yellow Dress to Patreon. I'm excited for that to get released. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm so excited for this series. And because I was so hype, I decided, you know what? Fuck it. Let's play. Let's see if I can find it. I can't see. Because that doesn't help me at all. There we go. I don't want icons. I want... Where is... I know. Sort by date modified. There we go. And without further ado, let's play some Silent Hill. Alright, it looks like... Alright. Main scenario. Action level normal. Riddle level... Let's push myself hard. Oh, that jumps right into it. Hello, James.
Mary, could you really be in this town?
Alright, where we got on the walls? Something about fashion? Oh, I love this opening. Also, 10 out of 10 would recommend the soundtrack on Spotify. It's such good writing music.
In my restless dreams,
I see that.
I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday.
Said Mary.
Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. The dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
I don't know, dude. Seems sus. Well, that's a jump. Mary, you in there? Hello? Mary, wake up. I don't like this. Got a map of Silent Hill. Boom. I've never looked over here. Is there stuff over here? Well, they've got this screen going on. There we go. Most people don't know you can flip the screen so you can see where you're going. Ooh, there's that noise. First save spot. Angela. I love this cutscene. I love I love the acting, and this is like where like you realize, oh, there's. I mean, it's definitely aughts video game acting, video game voice acting.
Sorry, I
No,
was
it's
just...
okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost.
Lost?
Yeah. I'm looking for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But
Yes?
I think you'd better stay away. This, this town, there's something wrong with it. It's kind of hard to explain, but
Is it dangerous?
maybe.
It's not just the fog.
Fog either.
Okay,
It's...
I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just
The
I
eyes.
guess I really don't care.
The details in the eyes.
I'm going to town either way.
And the sort of
Why?
not disinterested, but
Someone.
Who is it?
disassociated voice. He's like out of it.
Very important to me. I'd do anything
He's like in a daze.
for her again.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry. It's not your
No,
problem.
I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too.
So what I love about that scene, and what I love about Angela as a character, is she's supposed to be like, I want to say, she's very young. I don't know if she's like supposed to be like teenager or like early 20s, but she's supposed to be very young. But the way she's performed makes her seem like a middle-aged woman that's not all the way there. And there's something, a middle-aged woman with maybe an intellectual disability or something like that. She doesn't sound young. She sounds old, but speaks in a way that's like is almost, less mature. She speaks in an immature way, but with the voice of an older woman. And when you realize her backstory and how that affected her development and how she was taken advantage of and abused by her family, like those little details in the voice acting. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna miss. I'm not saying that they shouldn't recast the voices, because they absolutely should. And what I've heard in the remake sounds really good. But man, like, this is one of those games where at first when you hear the voice acting, you're like, what the fuck is this early aughts bullshit? Because this was 2001. Video game voice acting wasn't a thing back then. But the more you hear it and the more you learn about the process of this game, the more you realize like all of the weirdness and the stiffness is entirely intentional. I don't think there's anything in the cemetery. I usually just walk right out, but, you know, might as well explore. That's the gate that we go out of, I think. Might as well just, alright, let's just go. Ooh. Not to compare the two, but, you know, Resident Evil, I like to describe Resident Evil as like a haunted house. Like, it's very like boo kind of scares, but it doesn't really get under your skin the way Silent Hill does. Silent Hill, the horror is much more subtle. It's just a little noise here and there that, I mean, obviously the fog is scary, but it's, I think mechanically, like, get from a gameplay perspective is where Resident Evil gets its scares, because, you know, zombies are scary and the Crimson Heads are like spooky to look at, or when you first encounter them, and like, oh no, the corpses come alive that you didn't burn. That got me. But really, when I feel uncomfortable in Resident Evil, it's because I don't have enough bullets to kill the things, not because the things get me scary. Whereas like Silent Hill is the opposite. You can kill a thing with two hits of a pipe but you don't want to kill it because you don't want to look at it. Because it's just human enough to be... Where zombies are just zombies in Resident Evil. But Silent Hill monsters are... They look like a person trapped in a disfigured... Not disfigured, that's ableist, but like... Impossible... It's body horror. It's impossible... impossible configurations. Like two pairs of legs sewn together end to end. Hip to hip. Like that's such a brilliant design, and it's so subtle, and you know exactly what it's trying to say. A human, a creature that is wrapped up in a straitjacket of its own skin that has no face. Completely isolated from the world. And can only regurgitate. Ooh, a first aid kit. Alright, so flower shop. In the original movie, this is the spot where you first saw the armless men. I think they're called in lying figure. They're called in the game, and I think just the armless men in there it is. The film, I think is what they call it. Oh, health drink. Oh yeah, this is where I'm supposed to go. Yeah. Here we go. The other thing too is melee is much more viable in Silent Hill than it is in Resident Evil. Look at that booty! I forgot that lying figures had such voluptuous bums. Look at that cake. What'd you do with all that junk? Oh, come on. Did I really?
Is it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This thing broken? What the? I better take it anyway. I might need it.
Oh, that noise. It's so spooky. It's so good. Oh, excuse me. Alright, before we go... There's an area that people always forget. Hello. If you're nowhere to go, it's easy to miss out a lot of like missable things if you just go straight through where you're supposed to. So I'm going to wander around intentionally a little bit. I'm going to go... I want to see what's down here. There is a health drink up there. I hear him. Ooh, there's new audio. Gonzalez Mexican restaurant. I know what's going on. See, you're not supposed to fail to go into any of these places, and then this place is just... You zoom in on a door and suddenly you can... Oh. Here it is. There was a hole here. It's gone now. I want to go see what that circle is at Salt Street. And I think it's just... If you're really out of your way, they put that over there. I love the way he runs too. His arms are very noodly. Oh, there's nothing over here. Yeah. Bar Neely's. I'll wait at Bar Neely's. So that's meant to point... If you get super lost and you end up in this trailer, it's supposed to point you to Neely's bar where you see the line. There was a hole here. It's gone now. And then you get the map telling you where to go. But most of the time, people don't even go. They see the Rosewater Park and they try to go there and they end up going to the apartments first. I think there's actually a hint at the apartments too. Of where to get the key. So this is nothing. It's locked. Oh. This is blocked off. Alright, before we go up to that question mark, I just want to see, I think there's... Oh, god damn it. They're not supposed to do that yet. Is there a bug around here too? What's the noise that bugs make? It's funny how I know this game like the back of my hand, but I still get spooked by it. Just because the noises are disconcerting. The door that wakes in darkness opening to nightmares. So there's not a hint at the door over here. What is that noise? I don't know that noise. Oh. There's that noise gone. Alright, that's not where the map's telling me to go. I just want to look up here just to be sure. What? Oh no, I didn't see anything. Alright, I can't just stomp them when they're on the ground like that. Oh shit. I'm going to write everything that I've learned so far. Maybe that will help you out somehow. Oh, fuck. Oh, there's two of them. If you're reading this, that means I'm probably already dead. Yeah, I think so. Oh, here we go. A torn memo page is on the ground. I saw those demons. They were there, I'm certain, but my friend says he didn't see anything. Monsters? They look like monsters to you? If that's true, does that mean that what I saw was an illusion? But whether that demon that ate human beings was real, or whether it was some kind of hallucination that my mind dreamed up, one thing I know for sure is that I'm beyond all hope. It seems they're attracted to light. That's why people who need light to see are their natural prey, and they also respond strongly to sound. If you want to go on living, you'd be better off just sitting in the dark and staying quiet. But even that probably won't save you. If you're going to try and fight them, the most important thing is to relax. It's dangerous to fire a gun while you're all crazy with fear. Take good aim and then squeeze the trigger, and don't forget to finish them off. I think most of those creatures can be killed, even if they are tougher than people. Run away. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. I forgot about these. Alright. That's what was up there. God, I hate that. I missed that jump scare because my headphones weren't working for a second. So, fun fact, every single one of these bodies, every dead body you meet in Silent Hill is James Sunderland's model. They're all just James. They've all got his green jacket, they've all got his blue jeans, they've all got his same haircut. Which is more implication that the in-water ending is canon, and that honestly, this game doesn't have quite the moral high ground that people think. It's a great story, and that's the point. It's an emotional story. But the implications aren't great. We're just look at it through, what's the word? Through nostalgic tinted glasses. Like, it's still my favorite video game stories of all time, but it's also, like, not a great, it's horror. It is the kind of horror that, I think ultimately, because people talk about how horror is either progressive or regressive, how people want the return of the status quo, which is an inherently conservative view. I don't think that that's necessarily true for all horror, or nor is it a universal truth for horror. But I do think when we compare 2 to 3, there is a distinct difference between whether the story is progressive or regressive. Hello, Shadow. I saw you disappear. I am noticing a few like things about the number one thing to check in Silent Hill is the map. I mean, it's important to survival horror as a whole. Like maps are like such a key element of survival horror, and like trying to navigate a maze that is a maze from what is otherwise a perfectly ordinary environment. Yep. This is the way I want to go. Locked. Don't exist. Locked. Can't be opened. Doesn't exist. And we have the first jump scare of the game. Probably the best monster design of the second game. It's so simple, but it's so fucking creepy and brilliant. And like, it is technically only mannequin legs. Like, it's not actual humans, but you can't really tell. And the way it moves and the noise it makes. Ugh. I do think mannequins, Pyramid Head aside, but Pyramid Head's like specific. Like, when you think about it, Pyramid Head is just like, it's not a super unique design. It's not super, there's nothing inherently like genius about it. It is iconic. I mean, part of his appeal, it's just a buff man with a triangle on it, with a metal cage on its head that's emblematic of executioners' hoods, and even some worse kind of hood imagery that I will not dive into. And I'll tell you, you show a bunch of a couple people of color. So one thing that happened to me was when I was in a playwriting group last year, I was the only white guy in the group. And I think we were asked to bring in a piece of art that speaks to our aesthetic and speaks to us, whatever. And I brought in the fan art of Pyramid Head doing the heart symbol. Because that Pyramid Head is like such a big inspiration for me as a horror author. And like that, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite images. And let me tell you, people who didn't know what Pyramid Head was, their minds went to one thing, and that was KKK hoods. And I don't think that's inherent to his design, but it is one thing that comes to mind when someone looked at him. I've never heard that noise before. You know, me being white, like that was like a clear example of like just white ignorance of like not having to see that image and think of a particular kind of hood. Because it wasn't just one; it was several people in the room that were like, "Does that remind you of? Does that remind anybody else of?" I don't think KKK hoods, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I hadn't thought about that, but it sure does, and I apologize for not giving out a warning. James, get out of the closet. All right. What was that? There was a noise there that was not... This enhanced edition's adding some stuff for sure. Because I played the original, like I have the original version. I don't play this because I have no way to connect it to. 3 needles stand the three different heights: the fat, the tall, and the thin. From slow to fast, they move to the right. Scott rests not on 3 but 15. This one didn't have the... Nothing unusual about the TV. Looks very old. Is it still the same? I think it's the same time still. The puzzle is different. The riddle is different, but it seems like the answer is the same. We just get this on the map. Okay. Okay, Derry, okay. Oh no.
Hey, wait! Damn it.
Bye, Laura. We got a gun. And now we'll have... This is brilliant. I forgot. I've never really clicked how brilliant this puzzle is. So we were just in that room, right, with the clock puzzle, and there's nothing going on the TV. Now that we have a gun in our possession, the image of the room changes. Now that we have a gun, it's not until we have a gun that the urge to punish ourselves appears. There he is. The man himself. Doesn't appear until we have a gun. And then we step into this room with him outside. The music is all spooky, and here we have a dead body. And it's James. That's his hair. That's his jacket. And he doesn't click. It doesn't click to him that that is him. But now we can proceed. Oh. Oh, you need to use room. That's not the key to the clock, it's the key to room 202. The butterfly room. Oh, he's looking at something in there, but you can't go in there. That's interesting. Is that what he was looking at? Were we looking at it through the door? Oh yeah, that's what he was looking at. James is psychic. He can look through walls. Oh, I love this. Love/hate this soundtrack. Ooh, that's vibrating. Done. 9:15. Or 9:10 rather. It's giving us health drinks. It's giving us a save spot. And this is where Daddy just was. And what's also creepy about this scene too is that we're just blindly opening doors. And then, boom. If you're just exploring, you're not expecting that to be. And this is pretty much the scene from the remake trailer, minus the little napkin thing that he was looking at. I'm noticing the audio a lot more this time. Like, I've never noticed Pyramid Head grumbling like that. And one thing I always find interesting, it's almost like, you know, he's trying to maneuver the thing so he can see who the fuck was just in here. But it's almost like he's looking with his hand. He's almost like he's using his hand to, like, look. It reminds me of the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. We're about to have an abundance of keys. Oh, you're... No, this is a nothing room, I guess. Oh, we can go down to the first floor now. At least those 3 rooms. And we can unlock this door over here. Canned juice. That we can dump in the... Alright, we can go all the way here. That's one puzzle solved. That's 2 puzzles solved. They solved the clock puzzle. Oh, there's the courtyard key. I can... When I first go up here... Oh, that's my kitty. Hold on one second. Alright, which room? Oh, it's right here. There's a trash chute. There's some kind of strange garbage stuck in the hole. I love Silent Hill 2 puzzles. They're so dumb. They're such a mindfuck. Because you expect them to be like ornate and intricate like Resident Evil. No, that's like throw canned juice down a garbage chute. Got a coin. Walter Sullivan, aka the antagonist of Silent Hill 4. The police announced today that Walter Sullivan, who was arrested on the 18th of this month for the brutal murder of Billy Locane and his sister Miriam, committed suicide in his jail cell early on the morning of the 22nd. According to the police statement, Sullivan used his soup spoon to stab himself in the neck, severing his carotid artery. By the time the guard discovered him, the Sullivan was dead from blood loss, with the spoon buried 2 inches into his neck. I love how 1 and 3 are connected, and then 2 and 4 are connected with this like one little thing of dialogue. Hi, kitty. Oh. Uh-oh, Pretty Face wants attention. Hold on one second. Alright, we're gonna... Alright, we got a cat cam getting ready to go. Hello, Pretty Face. Come here. Let's show you off. This is Pretty Face. She's a sweetie. She is the most attention-hungry cat. She's so old. And she's so sweet. Alrighty. Don't step on the keyboard. Thank you, baby. We got the snake. We got the old man. They're just at the pool, right? There's nothing outside here. Yeah. I'm just going to look over here, see if there's any items. No items. That's... Ooh. Didn't like that. Tilted the camera. Oh, it's Eddie. I think that's the only dead body. Of course, all we see if it's like, but I think that's the only dead body in this game that doesn't use James's model. Let's get that little... Let's get them hand red bullets first. Oof.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do what?
I didn't do anything. I swear. It was like this when I got
Don't step on the keyboard.
My name's James. James Sunderland.
Eddie.
Eddie. Who's that dead guy in the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill anybody.
You're not friends with that...
Red pyramid thing, are you?
Red pyramid thing. I don't know what you're talking about. Honest. I did see some weird looking monsters. They scared the hell out of me, so I ran in here.
Well, I guess this place isn't too safe either. What happened here anyway?
I told you, I don't know. I'm not even from this town. I just...
You too, huh? Something just brought you here, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, whatever it is, I think you better get out of here soon.
Yeah, you're right. What about you?
I'll leave as soon as I'm done here. Eddie, be careful.
James, you be careful too.
Ooh, look at that noise. to hell. Which way? Oh, it's outside. Blocked off, blocked off. Oh, now we can go upstairs. How do we zoom out? There we go. All right. All right. It's entirely possible to lose this map. Oh, something's in the toilet. I love the meme of this in Silent Hill 3 where she almost does the same thing and then looks at the camera and goes, "Who would do something so disgusting?" AX7 VV8. Yes, you do, James. Alright, there is a map. Alright, hard mode puzzles, let's go. I'm not looking for the map I'm looking for. There we go. Wallet in the toilet bowl. 8 to the right, X7, X9. Hmm. Let's see. Doing some math on my phone. Oh, I thought. Let's see. See, I thought. No, I didn't look up the solution. I solved the solution, but it was like I overthought it, I guess. So 8 to the right 17, to the left 18, to the right 9. Alright. 8, 17, 18. Oh, maybe it's the other way around. 8, 17, 18. Am I missing something? Oh, it's 19, not 9. 8, 17, 18, 19. Interesting. So 8, 17, 18. There we go. Guess we can use some bullets now. The water looks good. Don't have the map. I know there's a map of this somewhere. Ashes and dust. Are you fucking kidding me? That there's sounds here playing that I've never heard before in this enhanced edition. And I played the OG version. Alright, before we go upward, oh, I think that, oh, there's the map. There's the map of the new. Okay, is there anything I missed? No. Alright, now we can look. I just look at what that sign said. It's Uncle David Ah, first floor staircase. So we go. That's where the puzzle is. We're gonna go upstairs first. No, we're not. Oh, this is where the puzzle is. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to solve the puzzle right now because we're still missing the third coin. There is a save spot. Cool. Is that the cockroach? Oh. No, we gotta find Angela's other room. Angela's somewhere in here, and with her we get the final coin. I do believe. Yep, there's the roach. Some mannequin outside this last door, of course. Then where did I run into Angela? Is she over there? Ooh, I bet she's over there. I think I must have missed her. They made an allusion to this gap crossing in the first film. I'm just gonna go down here. I know Angela is, there's still an encounter with Angela. I'm pretty sure that's where I get the coin and the knife. Alright, now. That's Eddie. I only have 2 coins, right? Yeah. Huh. What room is Angela in? I could have sworn. Let's go back. Maybe I missed something. I love how they make a whole big thing of it every time he does that. Alright, let's go back downstairs. Maybe I'm missing something. And she's living where Uncle David is. This door... Yeah, this room is nothing. Go on, girl, give us nothing. Alright, this is... feel like I'm missing something. But you know what? I'm going to take advantage of this save spot. It's getting to be that time. A little bit early, but you know. Alright. I'm going to go see who's streaming and we're going to do a nice little raid. Oh. Never mind. Well, alrighty. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good night. One second. Remote. There we go.